Good morning everybody, I'm in the rainforest and I'm getting rained on and I absolutely love it. The time is super early in the morning, the sun's just come up and we're currently on an elephant trek trying to find an elephant. I've just seen elephant poo over here as well, so fingers crossed I see the elephant before you do because you're wherever you are in the world and you can't come save me. So I'm in Borneo and I'm here with WWF. Now, you probably are already aware of this. I hope you are anyway, because it's amazing. The Our Planet documentary is on Netflix now. The Our Planet documentary is hosted by, or narrated by Sir David Attenborough, who is like my hero, and it's in association with WWF. There are 8 episodes. The first one's about our connectivity to the world, you know, what our place in the world and how we, I guess, work with the world, I suppose. And then there's 7 other episodes about different habitats. Like there's the jungle, hence why I'm in Borneo. There's one about kind of Arctic environments. There's one about high seas. There's one about coastal environments. One about forests. I'm forgetting the other ones, but I was lucky enough to see the jungles episode before coming out here, and it's fascinating. If you've seen that episode yet, the velvet worm just kind of boggles my mind. It like throws glue at things. It's mental. Anyway, throughout the documentary, because it's done with the WWF, there's kind of an undercurrent of what we've done to the world. Now, this video's not going to be really preachy, but I need to say this bit because it's really, really important. Since like the 1970s, we've done so much damage to the world. We've literally reduced the population of species. Oh my god, spider! Oh my god! Oh, it's just been in a spider web. Oh god, I hate spiders. You can't see it. Oh, he just walks into it. Oh Jesus! Let me say that again because my heart just raced because that is a nasty looking spider. Oh, didn't like it one bit. Anyway, where was I? Since the 1970s, we've kind of reduced the population of species by about 60%, which is huge. And for a long time, we didn't know it until we did start to know it, and we've been doing research into it. The good news is we know what we've done now, and you know, as a species, us human beings are we're ingenious and we're problem solvers, and we make things work, often at the cost of our planet. But now we know better, and we know how to fix things. All it takes now is time and effort and commitment from basically everyone on the planet. Because the thing is, right, it's really important to save nature for the sake of nature, right? Because animals are amazing and they deserve to exist. But more importantly than that, even, we need to save nature for our existence, because if nature goes, we go with it. We won't be able to feed ourselves because we won't be able to kind of keep crops alive. We need to have the right temperature, we need to have the right amount of water. And if we start messing with the balance of our planet, then the planet's going to kick us off, basically, and that's it. The thing is, the planet will survive, it will kind of repair itself, but we won't be invited back. So it's kind of, for me, it's the most important issue we face, you know. We can't cure cancer if we're not going to be here in 50 years, and that's kind of, you know, the way it's going at the moment. But I'm in the rainforest, and it's really cool, and I'm learning loads, and I'm getting wet, and it's just brilliant. Back in the room now after a spectacular drive. Like, we're in the back of the truck, just looking up at everything. As the sun goes down, the stars come out. It's just really, really beautiful. Although very dusty. Like, my hair feels just like thick with dust, and it's all in my eyes and my mouth. I can't wait for a shower. This is my room. Basically, I'm not really too sure what you'd call it where we're staying, but it's a bunch of sort of hut things along a path. And then there's a place to have dinner over there. But we're in the jungle, and actually it's much better than I was expecting. When the WWF people setting this up and were emailing me and everything, they were like, bear in mind, it's not the Ritz, we're in the jungle. I was expecting it to be much worse, but this will do me fine. Here's the bathroom, a little shower, a little toilet, sink, oh, mirror, lovely. Good morning everybody. My camera's making it look much lighter than it actually is, but we are up just before the sun. And we are going, we're going elephant trekking, hopefully we'll see some. So there are 4 elephants around here, there's loads of elephants around here, but there are 4 elephants that Dr. Cheryl, who is not don't know where she's gone right now, but she has put GPS trackers on them so she can find out where they are. 3 of them are miles away. One of them is kind of in the vicinity, but he's kind of a lone bull elephant, so we are just going to go exploring, I think. Dr. Cheryl knows elephants like inside out, so she's going to take us on a little journey for the next couple of hours. We have to get up early to do this, because apparently by sort of like 8 AM they start heading back further into the jungle because it's cooler, there's less sun on them and everything. So, but yeah, the sun's coming up. And it's great. In my room last night, I didn't show you this, there's like an air freshener thing that goes tss every sort of like half an hour or so. I didn't know if it had mosquito repellent in it or what it had, but I'm really jet lagged and very tired. And I was laying there in bed at one point. I woke up and I was like, there's a snake in my room, because it went tss at me. It was quite an aggressive sort of hiss noise, and I was bloody terrified until I put 2 and 2 together. Anyway, I want to show you the sun because it's starting to come up, and it's the sky here has just blown me away because there's so little light pollution that everything just looks stunning. Look up here. Amazing. It's going to be a good day, I think. We've got our first rainbow. It's incredible how it was raining like 30 seconds ago, and then it stops. I'm still soaking wet, but it just stops instantly. Rainbow comes out, and we're on our way again. Bloody love the jungle.
I know.
It's so cool. Look at that. WWF are out here. Actually, have brought me to an oil palm plantation. Now, palm oil has a terrible name for itself, and quite rightly so in a lot of instances. Thing is, the information we are fed about it is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's quite dichotomous. It's either it's really good and we need it, or it's really bad and we should boycott it. WWF has a slightly more complex standpoint on it. It's kind of a bit of both. We do need it. It's in 50% of the things that we use every day. Like, you can't brush your teeth without it. You can't wash your hair. The food we eat, it's in everything. And it's such a handy product for us that it's really important to our way of life. And without it, things would change and life would be harder. And what we need to do is find a way of having our life stay the same but more sustainable, right? So the problem is as well, like, palm oil is actually a really efficient crop. Like, I'm on a plantation now, and per fruit you get much more oil than you do from anything else. So if we were to all boycott palm oil, what would happen is the pressure would be off people to make it, so they'd start making a different oil, and they'd make coconut oil or sunflower oil or something, and actually it takes up about 9 times more land. That's how efficient palm oil is. And of course that means more deforestation and more pollution and stuff. So I'm currently on a sustainable oil palm plantation called Sabah Softwoods, and it's massive, and it's so fascinating to hear about how they're making it right. Elephants are allowed to roam here. There are so many rules and regulations they have to follow, and the people who work here are so passionate about it that it's really sort of blown my mind, and I feel super positive. I didn't know this either, I didn't realise I just thought palm oil was terrible, so I've been trying to buy products that don't have it in it. Actually, there's a really good way of knowing if your products have sustainable palm oil or not. If you get an app, if you're in the UK, get an app called Geeky, which is Giki. Basically, when you're in the supermarket, scan any product you want, and it comes up with 7 kind of badges. One of which is about whether it's got palm oil in it. Another one is whether it's got sustainable palm oil in it. And if the product you're buying doesn't have sustainable palm oil in it, then get in touch with the company, tweet them publicly, email them, do whatever. Put the pressure on them to start using the right stuff. So basically, I'm going to stop talking now because I want to go find the elephants. But the 2 things I want you to do: 1, get that app. 2, go and watch Our Planet if you haven't already. Actually, 3 things I want you to do. The third one is go on ourplanet.com and learn more about it if you want to. So this little guy here is an oil palm fruit. Basically, they come in big bunches, like this guy over here. Look, I've just been watching one of the gentlemen harvest, and it's actually a real skill. It's quite interesting, but it comes in a big bunch like that, and that's an individual. I'm going to try one because apparently you can eat it. Apparently not many animals actually eat it because it doesn't taste of a great deal, I'm told. So I'm going to try one because I'm just really intrigued by what it tastes like. But I'm assuming because it's used in everything, and it's kind of you don't notice it when you're eating it in peanut butter, and you don't notice it when you're eating it in all the things, or when you brush your teeth or whatever. So maybe it doesn't taste as much. Oh, it's really weird. Kind of like Yeah, it's very oily. Doesn't taste so much. It's quite fibrous though. And you can see in there, it's very like it's all stuck in my teeth. Very fibery. Inside it though, there's like a kernel. God, it's really oily. It's so strange. It's like kind of like a fibery avocado in a way, but like inside it, there's like a pip or a kernel, and that's where a lot of the other oil is. So you get kind of a different variety of oil from the different bits that you kind of mush up. I don't like it, if I'm honest. And look, I'm now left with just fibre in my mouth. So the way you do it, right, is you get this sort of spiky thing and you ram it in, and then you kind of scoop up and put it on your shoulder. I just did one for a photo. It's actually really heavy, and when it's on just the spike, it just digs right into your trap here. This guy is probably, I don't know, maybe a foot shorter than me, maybe not quite as short as that, but he's so strong because that's actually, you know, I work out a lot, and it's, oh, Camilla's going to have a go. Good luck, because it's not light, and then you hold it there. Camilla's going to do the big one. Come on, Cam. Right, look how easy this guy does it. It's actually not that easy at all. The spike's a bit of a challenge, actually. Oh, there she is. Oh.
Yes.
Easy.
Yeah.
But Jim, why did you complain about this?
My hero. I don't think I complained. I was just aware that it was heavy. So our elephant was around here like an hour or so ago. But I think we've missed it because the sun's come out now and he's probably moved on. But they really like the chippings here. So what's happening in this part of the land is that these trees are now too old to produce kind of good fruit. So they take them down and start again. So these trees are being kind of torn down. And then they leave the land for a while to sort of re-fertilise itself and kind of rebalance itself. And they plant again. But look at all these birds over here. They love it. I think they're waiting for maybe insects to kind of get disturbed or something. We're just heading back to camp. I don't know if you can see actually, but there is an elephant over there. Oh my god, amazing. Got a bit closer, they're kind of heading away from us, but there is, what, there's got to be 5, 6, 10? That's so cool. So, we followed them to try and get a bit closer. And just look at this. So amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, big fella. So it turns out we were exceptionally lucky to see that. Cheryl, who's the elephant expert, said that there was 9 elephants, all males, including one juvenile, and apparently male elephants don't get together in more than groups of like 4 or 5, so that was like really rare. Very special. In fact, when I turned the camera off, they kind of did a big loop and came round, and they saw us again and went, nah, and they turned around and made a big elephant noise and ran off. I think they'd kind of had enough of us, so we're now going back to the car to get out of their hair. But bloody amazing. It's really weird because like most of the animals in the jungle are like really live and small, and they're darty, and they sort of nip up trees or they slink around places, and there's just the elephants who are just like, whatever, we're here. Yeah, loved it. Wow, it looks like we got back for breakfast just in time, because this rain had just started as we arrived and now it's coming down very heavily. Good to see those two are, you know, kind of staying on track. So this area in front of me right here, actually I'll show you in a second, is what's called a wildlife corridor. So basically there's a big chunk of the rainforest actually that is totally surrounded by palm oil crops, which basically means that that area of the jungle has nowhere to go, right? All the animals have nowhere to go, and for genetic diversity and things, they end up kind of getting inbred because there's no room for them to migrate and meet, you know, mates and stuff. They run out of food, so what they've done is set up a wildlife corridor, which is a big stretch of land that goes right through their property, and it's worth like 2 million. I'm not £2 million. I don't know, $2 million. I'm not sure what currency, but they said it's worth 2 million a year. No, not even a year, per season for them. So it's a huge amount of land that they could otherwise plant on. But they've given it basically given it back to the animals for them to kind of migrate, and they've already seen clouded leopards, which is super rare. Elephants are using it, orangutans are using it. Basically, all the wildlife come through, so now they can come and go as they please to the main area of the jungle or to this area that's kind of surrounded. It's hard to kind of point out to you, I suppose, but it's basically the stuff that looks a bit more rugged, because all the things like in the background there that are neater That's all the crops, and then here the stuff that they just kind of let the jungle do its thing. This is the corridor for the animals to kind of get from A to B, meet new animals, mingle, and then do the dirty stuff and make baby animals. We spent all morning looking for elephants, and we did see some, and it was amazing seeing them in the wild. But then, oh god, it's just started raining again. God, that's really sudden, isn't it? But then these two guys who just turned up where we're having lunch. Oh, they're off again because the rain's coming down. No, they're not. They're just hanging. God, it's really going down heavy all of a sudden. Wow. We're going on like a night safari. So we're all adopting orangutans. It's a really great way to spend an evening. We are quite high, mate. Oh, hey. Crocodile over there. There's a big old boy too. Oh, he's down again.